What is up, dudes, dudettes, and all the people of the interwebs? You are here. It is Saturday. You know what time it is. Welcome to the United States of Smash on the Smash Podcast. Man, it's a good day. This Saturday has just been leading into some amazing stuff. It is a wonderful kickoff for the spring season of anime, and it has me pumped. I know y'all are just as pumped, and we got some good little topics here to talk about because our excitement levels have just been through the roof today. But let's introduce the usual suspects that we have here. First up, we have the man with no plan, Mr. Operation.
What's up, everybody? You said something you'll probably hear eventually later on in a certain anime. I'm not gonna say anything, but just remember that quote. Remember the whole quote you just did, and you'll eventually hear that later on in one of these animes that's dropping this month. I'll leave it at that. But I've been good. Just been reading Hero Academia right now. Been playing some Quantum Break's been good for me right now.
Oh, that's good, man. You enjoy Quantum Break?
Bro, it's dope. I'm trying to figure out why everybody's been shit on this game, but it's dope so far.
I don't know, man, but Remedy, they something special, man. They tell amazing sci-fi stories, and that's definitely one.
Yep. Cannot fault that.
Yeah, man. It's a sad thing. They a top tier indie developer, man. They don't get enough respect. All right. Next up on the panel, a returning man who's kind of been out the past few weeks. He's been frauding it up, but he's finally showing his face. The Spartan himself, Mr. Nethalees.
What's going on, guys? I'm finally back. You know, 1 week I got stuck in traffic. Literally took like 3 hours for them to clear it out. And the other week, you know, I had to work because it was one of those busy days. But now I'm back. I'm pumped. I just saw My Hero Academia Season 3 premiere. There's a Gokyo Ghoul reboot called Gokyo Ghoul Re. I'm going to check that out. And apparently there's a boxing anime that's fucking good. So I guess I'll check that out. So this is one hell of a season. Let's get the show going.
That's my man. And he's saying that there was traffic, but I mean, he lives in the middle of nowhere. Traffic is like 2 cars.
When a fucking car accident happens, you have no idea how long it takes them to get people out there.
Oh, man. And last up, we have the ever insightful, the ever creative, drawn man, Soul King. What is up with your soul?
What is good, everybody? I'm ready to get into these topics.
I know you're excited. You got to give some respect to you, man, because you always out here hustling with us while you hustling at work. You double dipping. But you just can't help it. You get excited when you want to talk about this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love being to talk about, man. And of course, our other panel member, Super G, is currently out right now. He'll be popping in a little bit later, taking care of his young son. So we got to make sure he's taking care of that, man. Family's always important. But let's go ahead and hop into this. And the first thing we want to save our hype for the obvious show here on what we're all excited about. But man, this week, and we were going in about this last week, is that there was just so many great shows that were going to be premiering this week and early into next week to kick off the spring season. And it's been mind-blowing just how big some of these shows are getting straight out the gate.
Can we turn them off for April? It's like a damn holiday for all these legendary drops. We might as well at this point, bro.
Yeah, for real. This is going to be something to get through from April all the way through July. These are going to be some heavy hitting shows, and the one that's been a surprise that we actually talked about a while back with some of our guests and unusual suspects that were out here with Mighty Moss and 108's Dragons. We were actually talking about megaloboxing, and we were talking about how sports animes have been doing really well a while back, and you know there's some really top tier ones. So me and you were just talking in the pre-show that you've seen a lot of the big ones, you know, Haikyuu, Kuroko's basketball. What are some of the other ones? Did you ever watch Prince of Tennis or any of that?
I never checked out Prince of Tennis, but I checked out iShield 21, Slam Dunk, stuff like that.
Oh, Slam Dunk is another big one.
Yeah, and I love them, man. I love them.
Yeah, and this one was interesting is me and we talked about this a while back, is that I love boxing. I grew up with boxing and all that, just like Moss and 108 Dragons, and this one was one that we were talking about because this one was just a badass with the animation, very old school, like early 90s, early 2000s style of animation, what you would see in like Trigun and like Cowboy Bebop era, that kind of style. It was very old school looking, but just the animation is just so badass and top tier. And y'all were hyping this up right now because y'all just watched the first episode. So give me your thoughts on that episode to start off.
This episode was a pleasant surprise for me because I usually don't care about sports animes, but after this, I'm going to check out some different ones, especially after this. But it actually come out pretty good. The main antagonist, because I'm pretty sure people haven't seen it yet, I'm not going to spoil it, but he doesn't give off those like typical stereotypes, those typical tropes they fall into, right? He just seems like a really naturally talented, naturally athletic, I guess, antagonist for the main protagonist in this as well. That's a pleasant surprise. His attitude, his personality, is just like, it's very calm and collected, right? It's not like statistical or like an asshole. It just come off like that as well. But that's as far as main antagonist. The story, the art style, it's actually pretty good. It's like you said, or Soul said earlier. That's why I'm Super G. No, Soul. It's kind of like an early '90s-ish anime style that has going along with it as well. And that's what I like about it as well. It's gonna be pretty interesting in the world. I'm just happy that it's getting off. I'm really looking forward to it as it progresses.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad to hear that you're liking that and that's how you're feeling about it, especially as someone who may not be
never get down about these episodes before. I never cared any type of animes until now.
Yeah, that's awesome though. That's really cool. And I think that we've been seeing some very unique ones with that, because I believe it was I think it was last winter season, not this past one, but the last winter season, we saw Welcome to the Ballroom, which was about the competitive dance scene, right? And that one was just enticing because it was just so different. And I think this one is going to be another one of those big ones that are just going to blow everyone away with it. So you actually just watched the first episode. What are your thoughts on it, man?
I love the way it looks. It's like a mix between Attack on Titan with the bold lines and like you said, like a '90s anime like Trigun and stuff like that. It looks pretty dope, and I love it. And also, I don't know. I just love the main character. We know nothing about him, but he's just mysterious, and you could tell that there's something about him that you're gonna love. He's like super dope.
All right, that's what's up. So y'all think that people who may not know anything about sports animes or even boxing may really get into this? Anything that makes it definitely stand out?
Definitely. Because it's not like a typical like generic take on boxing. It's more like you know the Hugh Jackman movie with like Real Steel. I think that's what
Real
it was
Steel
called.
with the robots.
Yeah, it's like Real Steel, but it's like Real Steel meets Elysium in boxing.
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty dope.
I like it, man. I like it.
That's what's up. So Neth, as you being a major sports fan who doesn't, or someone who's never seen sports, does this get you any good news for you? Do you feel interested in this now?
I will say that as soon as you said it isn't traditional boxing, that there's like it's robotic and shit, you finally got me hyped, because I'm like, I don't watch boxing, I don't watch sports or anything, but if it has like robots and shit and like mechanical arms or whatever, I'm there.
All right, that's what's up. I'm glad to hear that, man. Especially for someone who may not know boxing, I'm glad that it doesn't do the traditional take. Though there's nothing wrong with that, because we saw that with Hajime no Ippo. But I know, so you were saying you couldn't get into that. But when it comes to boxing, it is one of those stories that has to be really well done and unique in a way. But this one sounds like it's taking that and putting it in a much different light. So I definitely think we're going to see something big out of this one. I think this is going to be one of the big surprise hits in the season. You know what I'm saying? All right. But now to go on to some of the announcements that we have from that have been made. Last week, me and Op were talking about a game that actually came out that was being done and funded by Crunchyroll through their new games department, something that they've been doing, and it was for a series called "Is It Wrong to Try Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?" And it's actually a nice anime. Really cool. Very following that if it was, you know, another world, but it also had like an RPG aspect of it. Real funny, real lot of good action scenes in it. Something really special. But that came out back in 2015 and it hadn't been announced for a second season. Well, apparently, when we were talking about it, I just got linked to an article that they actually did announce that it finally was getting confirmed for a second season, as well as a movie in back in March during an anime festival there in Japan. And I thought it was really interesting that they would just finally announce the second season, but with Crunchyroll having put the money into to really bringing this game about, which was heavily written by the original author of the light novels and everything else that was going into it. I thought it was interesting that they were doing that and there was no second season, but to hear that they finally confirmed a second season and a movie for this, I think that's really awesome. Has anyone seen Is It Wrong to Try and Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
No, but I do remember you talking about it before. I definitely remember you talking about it.
Yeah, it was when I saw it when it came out back in 2015. It was one of those surprise ones that caught me off guard, and I loved it, dude. It was so funny. The characters are endearing. It has its aspects that makes it great, and it does have a lot of really well done fight scenes in it, and you know, it's typical fantasy, but with the RPG aspect of it and how it all works, it was something that was unique. But I was saying, man, it was sucked that it took 3 years for it to get a second season, but I'm glad that they did and are doing a movie and everything with it. You know, it's one of those things that we see that some animes don't immediately get second seasons straight out the gate. You know, it's something that comes in time for a lot of them, and sometimes that hurts and sometimes that helps. But with one like this, especially with the support it was getting, you know, it's one of those things that it definitely deserves that second season and go around, because the story where it is in the light novels and where it takes off from, it gets real good.
Real quick,
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I know there's a plethora of reasons why this happens, but like, why do usually some animes take longer to get greenlit for second seasons? Does like boil down to budget, the studio?
It's probably because the studio has different projects and they just put stuff on the back burner, stuff like that.
And some of it does come down to a lot of controversy sometimes. Look at the big one that a lot of us may have seen or know the controversy of, with No Game No Life. I love No Game No Life. Like, that was a smart that's a smart series. You know, the light novels show that the main characters, Shiro and Sora, are phenomenally like well thought out characters, well ahead. But you know, it does, like with some, it has a lot of fan service. And when that one came out, a lot of people weren't feeling it, and the creators just like, I'm not gonna change it just because there's people who have a problem with it, you know. And that one came back out, I think, in 2015 or 2014, and that one still hasn't been talked about for a second season in years, though it just had a big movie. You know, that's one of those things that sometimes it hurts when it comes down to either controversies like that, or it comes down to things of you know, studio projects. Not always is that the case, but that is one of the bigger ones. But when something sells well, like that one was massive, it sometimes it doesn't always get picked up immediately for a second go around, or it just runs into too much troubles on it.
That is true, but you gotta like Japan and any other place, they perceive things completely different than how we perceive things. So
True, that's true.
Absolutely.
So we see like a little like we see this little girl with this dude, and it's like looks sketchy. We're gonna like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, they have no problem with showing that kind of aspects and implied incest in kinds of ways like that, and sexualizing a lot of things over there. But when we try to censor that here in the West, you know, I don't know what it is about that. I mean, it's understandable, but I mean, look at one of the biggest shows on TV right now with Game of Thrones. You know, Cersei and her brother Jamie are brother and sister, and they've actively showed them having sex. So like, I don't understand it. Like, when they've tried even censoring it, look at what happened with Sailor Moon back in the day. What was it Sailor? I think it was Uranus and Pluto were implied as lesbians in the original Japanese, but when they translated it over, they made them cousins. Yet they still kept a lot of the implied. Yeah. Sometimes when they censor it, they do it for the worse, and they don't realize it. It's just one of those things that, man, it sucks, because especially when it's for a series that does really well and is well thought out like that, it sucks that it happens. But what can you do, right? Neth, you got any thoughts on this, man?
No, I think you kind of summarized it. I mean, but speaking of the Game of Thrones thing, like people made a big deal about Zerk. What was it? The brother and sister thing, but then they want Jon Snow to really fuck his aunt. So I don't know. That shit's a little weird for me.
If it's your favorite character, they don't care what happens. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, should I even watch that show now? God damn, you room for like incest? What the hell?
That's Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is nasty. It's nasty.
It's nasty.
But people love it because they got their favorite characters in it, you know?
God dang, what's next? Here's my champion steed. Have your way. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's one of those things, man. Who never really know, man. Never really know. But it sucks that it happens to well done shows like that. But what can you do, right?
Hey.
Just sit back and watch.
Yeah, just gotta sit back. But unfortunately, it happens to really well done animes that do big. But sometimes they don't just get the attention that they deserve until years later. And I mean, we've seen it before. Look at what happened with Blue Exorcist. You know, that took almost 6 years before it got a second season.
Oh, thank God! I fucking love Blue Exorcist.
Wait, you don't want to see the new season? Oh my God!
Oh yeah,
no.
See,
the new season Kyoto Saga was better because of the fact that it followed the story and was going back to the manga. However, they ripped themselves in the quarter because they had to retcon the whole like second half of the first season.
That's what I'm saying. If it wants, it doesn't follow anything in the anime. So
yeah, that one.
Me.
I give them a lot of shit for that one because the fact that they did their own story way back in the day instead of just waiting. And
when I watched season 2, I was like, wait, he doesn't know. I was like, he doesn't know he's a demon. What the fuck is this? I was like, oh my God, I can't watch this. It made me so mad. It was like irritating me.
Yeah, and that was them. They're just like, all right, we're just gonna wait, let people forget. No one will remember. Then we'll come back out. And I'm just like, no. You are getting away with that. It was one of those things, man, that was just.
It didn't turn out well. Once they came out, everybody started attacking them, man. It's like, what is this?
Yeah, and that's what they should have done in the first place. That was a great story arc and everything setting up for where it is, because like if you've read the manga up to where it is, dude, it gets so good. But the fact that they messed up that with what they did, I'm just like, oh no, you writ yourself into a corner, and now you're gonna basically retcon your whole first season. Come on now.
Yeah, because a lot of people did not read Blue Exorcist manga, especially those that watch the anime. So they just assuming, oh, this is going to take place where it ended off at. No, not at all. You're like, oh wow, this is crazy.
Yep, not a second.
And now you got to forget everything that you've seen in the first season.
Yeah, and that was the interesting thing about when they confirmed, you know, Tokyo Ghoul Re, which is actually going into our next thing, is that with this one being another one of the big shows this season, you know, it makes you wonder, were they going to continue where they left off with Route A? Because a lot of people had many mixed feelings about Tokyo Ghoul Route A. I enjoyed what they did with it. I know it was a significant departure from what was in the manga. I still enjoyed the effort that went into it. It still was really good in its self-contained story. But when they announced that they were doing Tokyo Ghoul Re, you know, it was a wonder of, are they going to continue with where they left off with the cliffhanger that was season 2 with Route A, or were they going to try and do something different? But you were actually talking about it, and so were you, Neth. What was y'all's thoughts on this?
I personally, I don't know. For me, when it comes to Tokyo Ghoul and their like anime story, I'm fine with it. I think they do it pretty well. and it still has that same effect to when I see like crazy, surprising scenes, and also like especially with the new anime Tokyo Ghoul. We don't like if you just first dive in there and not read the manga, you're not gonna know what's going on until later on, and then it's gonna be like a big surprise for people. But I think they somehow know how to do it. But some people are definitely gonna hate it because they're like, why aren't they following the story? Why won't they just follow one story? Why won't they follow the anime side story, or just go straight manga? And I guess people just don't like it like that.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask. So I'm confused. I remember watching the anime, and I fucking love the anime. The season 1, 2, great. Season 1 was better than 2, but that's my opinion. But what is Tokyo Ghoul Read? Jesus.
Okay,
so
is that
Tokyo
like Ghoul. No, it's not a reboot. It was originally a side story, but a continuation. What actually happened was that Kaneki actually suffered an injury that caused him to have amnesia, and he was taken by the organization, the Doves, and actually leads a team of other kind of half ghouls to hunt down full ghouls.
Oh,
and that's basically the whole premise. Like you'll see like his other side, Kaneki, trying to reach out to the new personality.
So Kaneki isn't special? I thought like being a half ghoul is like a big thing.
Well, they make other kind of half ghouls.
Oh, okay, they're experiments.
Remember Kaneki was an experiment.
He's like organic, isn't he? It's like an organic thing that happened with him.
Yeah, because the fact that what happened with him was that with Kaneki, what made it unique is that this was done by a public doctor who didn't know about, Riza. They didn't know about what happened, but they just said, "Oh, she's a match. We can use her to help fix him." After they found out about him and he was unconscious, they said there's a way to make half ghouls. What if we use them to help in the fight?
Basically, so like one of the very first half ghouls.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they use this full squad of half ghouls to help kind of fight the full ghouls there for the Doves.
Yeah. So do they? It is a continuation of the anime I was watching then, though, but you just have like amnesia now.
We don't kind of know yet, so it's just the first season, but we just know that the main character, he goes by a different name, but he's Kaneki because he just portraying another personality because he has amnesia.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many episodes are we in? Is it one or?
It was just one. It was started this season.
Okay. I don't know. That sounds interesting. I hope it connects to the anime that we have already had because I don't know. I haven't read the manga, but a lot of people, including myself, who just watch anime, we really fucking like it. Like I like the direction this show is. It's unique. It's different. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
It is, and it does a very interesting thing with its social aspect of the segregation and misunderstanding between both communities.
Mm-hmm. And it has its own like powerful moments. Like remember when the little girl saw her mother? Like I'm not gonna spoil it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I still think the ending to season 2 had me crying, dude. That one had me teary-eyed the whole time. Like that one was really, yeah. That one had me all sorts of crazy, bro. But yeah, I think it's gonna be an interesting thing. I hope that they do something special with it. I really do. I think I really hope that they go back towards the manga a little bit. But I also think that we're gonna see a little bit of that carryover with their own unique storytelling and it being a little bit original that we've seen. So it's gonna be interesting. It's one of those ones that's definitely going to be up there and be an interesting talking point for the season.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? As I said, I love Tokyo Ghoul, so give me more Tokyo Ghoul. That's all I want.
Yeah, man.
Watch the first episode. You're gonna be like, holy shit! Like, cause you're still gonna understand what's going on because, especially from the second season, you know what happened to Kaneki and stuff like that. He's fucked up in the head. So,
oh yeah.
I understand why he probably got amnesia. So like, this Just watch the first episode. Just watch.
Wait,
just
so
watch.
since you're here, did you ever read the Tokyo Ghoul manga?
No, I never read it.
Okay, so never mind. I was gonna ask. I wonder why people hate the anime so much, because the people who read the manga are like, "This isn't Tokyo Ghoul," but I don't know. I think the show's fucking good.
I don't want to ruin my experience by reading the manga just yet. When they're finished making the anime, then I will look at it and see what's different. But I don't want to look at it. I can't watch it now because I'm ruined by everything I've seen.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? I've been like that ever since. Like I used to watch Naruto back in the day, and I had to end up reading the manga because the fucking anime kept giving you filler after filler instead of finishing the show.
Filler.
But yeah, the people who make filler are worse than trash. But
you were the only one, man.
Only villains do that. Only villains make filler.
Anyways, after I watched the whole anime and whatever, I'm actually now rereading the Naruto manga just to see how different it is, the direction it went. If it's obviously gonna be faster paced than the fucking anime, and I like to go back to read the manga after I'm done with the anime, just to see how the anime took it and the different directions they went.
Oh, absolutely. Or in the cases of like Blue Exorcist, or unfortunately, Dead Man Wonderland, when those series gets cut off way too early before they're even done, or never get the chance to finish. I want to know what happens. Like in Dead Man Wonderland, they removed one character that had such a huge part that it ruined the whole story.
What blows my mind is I don't understand how Dead Man Wonderland gets canceled. I just watched the anime like a month ago, and I was like, this shit is amazing. I was like, when is the second season coming out? They're like, it's canceled. And I was like, wow, what is this? I don't understand how it got canceled. I thought people really liked it when I seen people like talking about it and stuff like that. So
absolutely, man. And like I said, that's one of those things that really just shows, that unfortunately with anime, man, it's such a never-ending cycle that some that deserve to get continued don't, and others that don't do. And even when something is big, sometimes it just happens. And that's just the depressing thing about it, is that just like the entertainment industry and TV and movies and stuff like that, it's ever shifting, and sometimes we don't get the continuations for shows that deserve it. I mean, good thing that there's still manga or light novels for those stories, but unfortunately we don't always get to see the conclusion. And for a lot of people, they don't want to read the mangas or graphic novels or light novels or anything like that.
They want to see it on the screen.
Yeah. And when I saw Dead Man Wonderland, like I said, when I saw the ending of it like a couple years back, because that's how long this show has been out but never got continued, I read the full manga of it. I actually went out and this is when I was still going to a library, okay, before I could use the internet.
Well, what's a library?
Yeah, what is a library? Yeah, I went to the public library, right? And actually got the whole series, actually sat down and read the manga, dude. They removed one character that had a huge implication throughout the story, but not just that, dude. Like the story gets so damn good after where it ended and left off. Like where it ended was like a third of the way through the story, through the manga series.
Like where it ended is all you see is rubble, and you see the paradise. You just see the amusement part, and I was like, okay, what is this?
Yeah, and like if you continue on with it, like that's only a third of the way through the story. Like there's still so much that goes on, and it just gets so damn good, and it's sad that it didn't get its continuation, man.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does, and that's an unfortunate thing that comes with the territory, but it happens, And Hailstorm, Neth, since you were right there, Hailstorm was mentioning that the Naruto manga is so much different from the anime until you get later in the timeline.
Yeah, it really. I'm reading it right now. It pretty much is, and but I still like the way the anime went about it, and I respect the two ways. And because it's different, I actually enjoy reading the manga because it's going to be something I'm not expecting. Yeah,
something you haven't seen before. Yeah, that's always what's up. Now, here's a series that actually was a surprise for me that I absolutely loved, and I'm glad to see that it was getting a movie, and they just released a new key visual for the upcoming promotion, and I sent this to y'all. Saga of Tanya the Evil is getting a movie. and this one was a series that seriously blew me away because man, is it something different, and man, it is fucked up, right? So, has anyone seen Saga of Tanya the Evil?
Nope.
Nope.
So you gotta save me here.
Come on, finish it off. One more note. Give us one more note, man.
Oh,
he's silent. It's a note.
Oh, yep. Oh, he's leaving hanging. Wow. Okay, frauds.
I'm proud.
So, Saga of Tanya the Evil was something interesting because it talks about the story of a serial killer that dies, but he's reincarnated as a little girl in an alternate universe, right? And he has a chance to do good again,
as a little girl
to try and right. Yeah, he was he was confronted by a self-righteous entity and reborn in the body of a little girl in another universe. And when he's born, it's in World War I Europe, and it's kind of like World War II. It's very weird in the timeline, but he joins the military, right? And just becomes this murderous little girl. Like
he definitely learned his lesson.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, he joined. It's hard to explain, man. It's something so all over the place that it fucking blew me away. It's hard to explain. I think it may not have. I think he died at the hands of a serial killer. Actually, that I think about it, I don't think he was a serial killer, but it was something all over the place, man. It was something crazy, weird, and cool at the same time. Like, you have to watch it because not only is it like in the middle of World War I, War II era, at the same time it's also like kind of futuristic because the fact that they fly around in the sky with these weird contraptions. I can't really explain it. Like, man, it's hard to explain this when you haven't watched it. God damn it.
Yeah, you guys send me a trailer or something. Maybe I'll check it out, but I don't know about this. I have to see to understand.
Man,
I'll check it out.
Man,
the article.
We already know you a fraud. All you watch is Dragon Ball Naruto.
I can't even fight him on that.
That's all you got going for you.
Oh shit.
The only one who's got any sort of leeway is Op, because of the fact that he just got into anime a little while ago and we've been giving him new stuff. But you, come on now. But it's this one was one of those ones that's just truly hard to explain about. Like, I don't know how to explain it because there's so much to it that makes it hard to talk about. It was something that's interesting that I'm absolutely in love with, and I'm excited for. But seeing as all of y'all don't know about it, we're gonna move on to something that y'all do know about, frauds. And that's Black Panther. And
Black
with
what?
this, Black Panther. The Black Panther. The Panther. He's going to have the strength of the Black Panther taken away.
Straight away.
But the Black Panther, man, this movie just does not stop. It is not stopping in any way. Still leading up. It is now officially the highest grossing superhero movie of all time, finally passing up the Avengers movie, hitting 603 million or 30 million domestically, sitting at around $1.2 billion. It is one of the top 5 movies overall in history, and it's something else, man. This movie just cannot stop. It won't stop, and I'm glad to hear about that. Neth, you were talking about this before. What are your thoughts on this?
I just think it's amazing. They're a side character that not that many people really knew about, let's be honest. And he was introduced in Civil War, and while he was a badass in Civil War, the fact that he came and made a movie and it was this popular. I'm not talking. This isn't normal. Like I've never seen a character who was this niche become this popular. Like, this guy is surpassing Iron Man at this point. Think about that. Iron Man wasn't even as niche as Black Panther was, but Black Panther has already surpassed him. He's the highest grossing superhero movie of all time. And this is his first outing. Like, this is phenomenal. I hope it paves the way for other side superheroes that not many people know of, other black superheroes. Because there's a whole world out there with fantastic characters like this, and I'm glad that people are open-minded and are willing to watch this movie. And for all of you haters out there who try boycotting this movie and then make fake attacks at movie theaters or whatever, I hope you take the L, because this movie completely surpassed anything you would have wanted. This movie completely destroyed your little ego, and I'm glad that you fucking lost.
Nah, if you're being a little too nice, you don't have to take the L. Just smack him across the face with that shit.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He's saying for people to take the L, but he takes the L every week about anime.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh no.
Oh yes. Now Soul comes back. Now he wants to talk after being quiet.
Hey, I'm at work, man.
Did have nothing to say on Saga of Tanya the Evil or nothing.
Hey man, I must have left at the right time then.
Oh no, that's 3 no's. Oh god. Bunch of frauds. Everyone here is a fraud.
Listen. Hey man.
I even gave you something to look at to check it out. God. Oh.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's too late. The damage been done. It's been done. But what I'll say is that with Black Panther still just going strong and now being the highest grossing superhero movie, man, there's nothing that can stop this. Well, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Hey man, I already seen it coming. I already knew it was gonna happen. So I just can't wait to the sequel. You know, I can't wait to see him in Infinity War. It's gonna be amazing, man. Wakanda forever. Top tier.
All right, that's what we're talking about. Wakanda forever. What are your thoughts on this, man?
Oh man, he disappeared.
Oh no, he disappeared.
Oh man.
All right, so now we're gonna have 2 L's to hand out in less than 30 seconds.
Now, he's disconnected.
Yeah, just have to kick him out. But let's see here, man. Like this, we saw this coming with just the reception that he did get in Civil War. There's no denying that. But for him to have his own solo outing and just see this kind of
reception. Fuck all that.
You see this?
Nick of time.
No, it's too late. You already got the L.
Oh.
But you know, we saw it, and just seeing the reception and how it's been doing just globally, domestically. I'm happy to see a superhero like that who's breaking so many boundaries to do this, you know, and to think that it is now one of the top grossing movies of all time. That shows you just, you know, the caliber that this movie had, because people can hate on it, say that the writing was, you know, average or anything. It doesn't matter. This movie is holding a special place, and for many people, look at, you know, the Force Awakens. Many people could say that, you know, it wasn't anything special. Sure, it's just a carbon copy of A New Hope for a lot of people, but it was still something special for everyone who saw it. There's a reason that movie did almost, what was it, $1 billion domestically alone? Like, I think it was like 930 million or something like that. Like, it's in very, very special company in what Black Panther is able to achieve. And to anyone who thinks otherwise just needs to shut up, man.
Call of Duty does $1 billion yearly. It doesn't make it special, but let's keep going.
Oh no. You see that? He's already mad that he got the L.
As far as Black Panther is, it's good to do so well. At this point, I don't hear nobody else saying, I don't know if Black-centric movie can work in this day and climate. Yes, it can. If it's done well, it can work, just like any other good movie.
Any movie could work nowadays. People just don't want to put in the effort. I mean, Wonder Woman could have been done, you know, years ago, and they did it, but it was bad because no one really cared for it. Now they do. You know, it's something new. It's something that we've always seen. Now, speaking of
Black Panther did just so much.
yeah, man, it did so much. And speaking of things that could be done, you know, we're talking about this. Disney is setting the sales expectations for Infinity War super low. I think they were saying it's like 250 million. What they set around for Black Panther after the weekend. Do y'all think that they're just doing this just to temper expectations?
Yeah.
And use that to say, oh, look at that, it broke what we estimated. Or do y'all think that it's not going to do anything like that? Do you think that they're just doing it low just to temper it?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and take this one. So has always been Disney's style. They always lowball it just to get their shareholders in the mindset of what it would do. And when it completely surpasses that, that's when you get the shareholders happy. And that's why Disney always looks good. For example, if we look at the competition, I know they take a lot of L's, but Warner Brothers, who expect so much out of their movies, they ultimately end up flopping. Like Justice League, while I like that movie, let's be honest, it failed in every aspect in box office. They thought that would take down the Avengers, and it couldn't even make its money back from the production.
That cast of people we barely knew could take down Avengers. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds sound.
What are your thoughts?
Go ahead, I want to hear your thoughts.
As far as, yeah.
With what Neth just said, stating that, you know, that they always lowball it to be able to set expectations right, and then then go from there. And then,
look at it's like a little PR stunt, right? Set expectations low. So everybody we think it's gonna do it right, but like don't get your hopes up, and it comes out, does amazing. Oh, look at that, we're killing it again, like we anticipated. Like it's a PR stunt, right? Get everybody hyped, get everybody rally on the movie, please the shareholders, the investors, and whatnot. That's how I look at it.
Okay, I can see that. So, what are your thoughts?
What was the question?
Oh man, I have to repeat it 3 times. I was saying, you know, with Disney lowballing.
I'm at work.
Yeah, fun out here, man.
Damn it, I'm working.
With Infinity War or Disney lowballing Infinity War's expectations for what they're going to be making, you know, at setting it at only 250 million.
Repeat it one more time,
think
please.
that
they bullshit because they know that everybody, all these little ass kids, like they're gonna go see Spider-Man. It's gonna make way more just from Spider-Man alone. People straight off of Black Panther are gonna go see it. They're just doing this just to just show the hype. They're gonna show the super hype when it breaks past 250. Like look at it. They already got the posters made. So I don't know. It's bullshit, but you know they gotta please everybody at the table.
Wait, hold on. I can explain to you why they're so low. You see, this movie won't feature Hawkeye, and it's just gonna be
oh no. Oh, he's on the Hawkeye hate. Oh no.
Nowhere to be seen.
Oh,
I thought he was in a movie though. I thought
he is in the movie. They put him in the promotion.
He's not in any poster, damn it. Every fucking time they make a poster, he's still not in it.
Oh no.
He's not an Avenger no more. You know, he's a family man.
Yeah. Except he went to jail for that shit.
Nice jail, man.
Hey man, like you said, even when he plays golf, he never misses, man. He got bored.
He never misses.
From family man to inmate. Okay.
Yeah, but I think, and Neth, you brought up a good point. You know, Warner Brothers doing high expectations with DC, and they can't even hit that, and it's a sad thing because I do want DC to do better. They have the potential. They could do it. They're trying to do too much. They're rushing into things. They're not keeping up with a lot. They're trying to compete when they shouldn't be competing. They need to focus on doing things right. You know, sure, they could use their big iconic characters, but when you're just kind of throwing them, when some people haven't seen some of them in years, you know, you got to give them some sort of understanding of the character. You know, with Gal Gadot's run around as Wonder Woman, it was great. A lot of people got reintroduced to what made Wonder Woman Wonder Woman. You know, She's not just a superpowered woman. It was more than that. She was a symbol for a reason. You know, everyone knows what Superman's about, but at the same time, he needed that change, and we saw that with Man of Steel. We didn't get to see Batman until Batman v Superman, right alongside Wonder Woman showing up at the same time. But Wonder Woman got her movie. Batman didn't. And then after that, they just shoved the other half of the Justice League all together when no one knew who they were for 30 seconds.
But I'll say the only reason Wonder Woman movie was pretty good, but the only reason why I think it really got perceived so well is because nobody really knew about Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm saying. They knew who Wonder Woman is, but they didn't know why she was. You know, they didn't truly know who she was. They knew of her, not who. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where it came down to. Is they knew of Wonder Woman, but they didn't know who is Wonder Woman. Most people don't know that she's a princess. You know, not everyone knows that you know she came from Themyscira.
Yeah, she's made out of clay and all this other shit.
Yeah,
but they don't know that.
They didn't know about. They didn't know the truth about the Amazon.
Some weird people out there.
And also, people don't know she got like a sister and stuff like that. But
yeah,
you know,
like I said, it was one of those things that wasn't really discovered or explained before that. Not a lot of people really knew. So it was something that they did right by really exploring that, and that's something that they need to do.
Yeah, because as you just said, DC has so much potential. A potential no one talks about with DC is, you have to realize, when we were kids, DC had all the good cartoons. Like, there is literally a whole generation that's grown up now and remembers you just from the cartoons alone.
Mm-hmm.
And you could capitalize that. I mean, my friends always like, make a Teen Titans movie already. And while you shouldn't rush to a Teen Titans movie, that's something you could totally do because everyone knows about Teen Titans within that fucking nostalgia, and hopefully Teen Titans Go will go away finally. But but you know, they have a lot of potential. Like, fucking eventually you can work up to Batman Beyond and shit like that, like way down the road.
I think a movie that would really work would be Injustice, the Injustice series. But
it could be a Justice League movie.
But like, what was I say? I was talking to one of my friends back home about this. Not Doomsday. The Watchmen were super ahead of their time, and maybe because it came out so back in the past. I don't know if not Doomsday. If Watchmen was to come out now, I think that would be super good for Warner Brothers and DC. But you know, they don't want to touch up on the Watchmen and people like that anymore, I guess.
It's one of those things. And shouts to Kaleidoscope. He said he's taking that.
And then I just watched a couple clips of it was, I don't know what movie it was or TV show it was. It's a DC animated show, I think. And it's I just seen Reverse Flash get his brains blown out.
Oh, that was the I believe that was the
Suicide Squad?
Yeah, the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah. I gotta check that out again.
I was watching that because Killer Frost, she killed Copperhead and Burst Flash outright. No issues. Like they went full on within that movie. It was badass. And their animated movies are always doing it right. Why can't they do that in live action?
It's super graphic because you see the bullet like slowly going through Reverse Flash head, and like you see the brains coming out his forehead.
Yep.
Wait, hold on. What movie are you talking about?
The new Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, it's funny. I need to watch that shit. Damn, you guys got me all the shit to watch now.
You know, maybe you should actually spend some time watching it. Stop talking about it.
Oh man!
Right. You want to know what turned me off? That fucking Batman and Harley Quinn movie was so bad. It turned me off from those DC anime movies for a little bit.
Oh, that was something. That was just
horrible.
Something bad.
That was.
Yeah, I didn't touch that. So you know.
Yeah, no. To be honest, I don't even remember that movie existed. I still can't remember that movie.
Hold on, but Gotham by Gaslight was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, that was really good.
Shit.
Yes, that was.
And Ninja Batman's coming out really soon, I think, right?
Yeah.
I thought it came out.
No.
No, I think it just reviews are in. I know it's doing really good.
Yeah, I think it hasn't come out yet, but I'm not entirely certain.
Well, you know, Warner Brothers
It comes out
and
later this month.
they just need to scrap everything for live action and just work from the ground up. They need to, because I guarantee this new movie that is called New Gods is going to do terrible. It's going to do terrible because of, like, sad to say it, you know, the movie that had Oprah Winfrey in it. What was it called?
Oh, the new one, Wrinkle in Time.
The Wrinkle in Time. The director. That movie did terrible. I'm sorry. It probably was a good movie, but it got destroyed by Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther murdered that shit.
I don't see her working good with a DC movie.
Disney's like friendly fire.
And then on top of that, like, New Gods is supposed to be working on like celestials, like the higher beings.
Supposed to be way down the line.
I don't know.
Look, if we're gonna talk about this, we're gonna talk about how DC did not have any sort of coordinated vision, and what they did was so far all over the place that it's not even it makes no sense. Okay, like we all want to see Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League, sure, but this dude is all over the place, right? Like, his vision for Superman down the line was him becoming Darkseid. Like, what the fuck are you on? Like, how does Superman become Darkseid?
In the movie, because, you know, Superman, spoiler alert, Superman is Darkseid. And he's going to be in New Gods as Darkseid. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, right? But it's just like, why? How? What? And it's just like, we already know Darkseid was around when the fact that he was wanting to do this when Steppenwolf was there. I'm pretty sure Steppenwolf knows who Darkseid is. Like, come on now.
Clearly he doesn't.
Clearly, apparently he wouldn't recognize. I don't know. It was, it was a hot mess with what Zack Snyder was trying to do. I give him credit on certain aspects, but his universe and story, it had no correlation whatsoever.
They need to actually bring people in, because if you look at Zack Snyder's like track record, he's just good for, like, he's still stuck in the past on his 300 type action scenes and stuff like that. He just loves big, flashy, dramatic action scenes. But we need a actual director who's actually going to, like, dive into these characters and flesh them out. And then we can always find somebody that's going to do a great action scene. That's not hard to do nowadays. But we need somebody that can actually bring these characters to life.
Yeah, they do. It's just one of those things, man, that they're putting in people with vision who's kind of skewed all over the place, that isn't consistent. That's the issue with it. You know?
Yeah, I hope in, like, the next upcoming year that they get their shit together, but I don't see it happening. It's like they're so stubborn, and, like, Warner Brothers has them by, like, it has DC, like, by the chokehold. It's crazy. I don't know why they're, like, afraid to just, like, give them more freedom.
All I'm gonna say is I kind of liked how the new head says he more or less gave up on the whole DC universe as of right now. Because if they're going to really do this, and if they actually want to do this, they need to first open up a studio, just DC Studios, give them a lot more control, like as you said, and they're going to have a concise, like, idea, like where they want to go with the universe, because you have to have an overall arching story. You can't just go from movie to movie and just make something out of it or rush to something. You have to have a clear, focus movement to a story point.
It's like they don't even really touch up on, like, they like, oh, we got comics, but fuck the comics. We're not gonna go by anything in the comics. We're not gonna touch nothing in there. We're just gonna keep the name of the characters, but, you know, fuck everything else.
But speaking about New Gods, you know what's kind of interesting? I forgot the director's name, but she was actually supposed to be the original director for Black Panther, actually.
Yeah, she was, but
they disagreed.
Yeah, she gave a shout out to Homeboy to do it. So
yeah, Thank God she did, because Ryan Coogler did fucking awesome.
It was a good plug for her to do that. It was really good, and it really panned out. It really panned out. And I know she probably a little salty, but it all worked out.
Salty.
You know.
But then again, like, just the visions just didn't match. Like, if you're not gonna match like Kevin Feige's vision, then it's okay. It's nothing to make a big deal about.
Yeah,
you move on to your project.
Yeah, but man, like the thing about it is that Kevin Feige has a vision for a reason. He helps to put things in perspective, but he lets the directors do what they want with with the story. But it still does gotta to match up to the overall. But I mean, he doesn't get like super heavily like, hey, you gotta do this, 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 and this. He's just like, no, here's how everything is planning out. This is where it's gotta go. Do your thing, and he lets them go, and it works.
He gives them 3 points: a point A, a point B, and a point C. Anywhere in between, they can do what they want.
Yeah.
They let the creativity flow. But Warner Brothers, I don't know. It looks like they just want money now. They don't look at the long-term investment. Like Kevin Feige, he probably seen the potential for probably 20 years. He's probably still looking further ahead now about all the potential movies he could possibly make for Marvel.
Because the fact that the dude's a nerd. He is a big ass nerd who understands the Bible of comics. He understands what needs to be done, what they could change, how it can make use of new day information, new day changes, and give it that framework. But he lets it be creative still. He pays homage to the right way, but he still lets it be. That's the thing about it. That's why the first X-Men movie, despite how we all see about it now, was significantly better with the way they handled the characters, because he helped with that. He was a critic. He knew, he followed the aspect. After the second and third, he wasn't on those projects. That's why they got worse.
Yeah, but to say, I don't know, like, I know he was there for the second one. Didn't he just leave for the third one, like halfway through or something?
He helped a little bit with X United, but then he left for X3.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then he even was there for the Spider-Man, like the first two movies, which were phenomenal. And then, the third one, he's like, nope.
Yep. Because people could reach out to him and be like, hey, I know what needs to be done. Let me be a consultant. I can help it. I can help with the vision. And she's like, yeah, cool. Let's do that. What
would be cool? Since Kevin Feige was kind of there for the first like Raimi trilogy, and I think you guys saw that video I sent you. What if like eventually down the line they want to do like a Spider-Verse like fucking tie-in movie? Like you can go back to the Raimi trilogy, and you can also maybe tie in with the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy and shit. Wouldn't that be fucking cool?
Yeah, that's something that's been talked about for a while that a lot of people want to see done. Yeah,
because like the Spideyverse is a big thing with the Spider-Man like storyline, because you always went to like different parallel universes with different Spider-Men, and that's like a perfect way to do it because people know about these particular Spider-Men since we already saw them on screen.
Yeah, with Spider-Man, it's they definitely do that, but I mean that's kind of what Sony's doing with at least with the animated movies,
with Miles Morales.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll see a live action Spider-Verse movie.
Yeah, the way I see them going with the live action Spider-Man, it seems like they're gonna hold on to Tom Holland till he's like 27 or 28 for a long ass time to do Spider-Man, depending on how he matures and doesn't get into any craziness. I think I see him being Spider-Man for a really, really, really long time.
But that's when it's gonna hurt if he ever dies or something, and then you'd have the Miles Morales Spider-Man mantle come up. That's gonna be awesome, because I love Miles Morales Spider-Man.
And that's the interesting thing is because if you look at right now with the MCU, we've seen these characters portrayed for almost a decade by the same actor. We've seen almost 2 decades or so of Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. These characters can persist for quite some time, and we could see that change in their character, especially for Spider-Man, who we've seen actively pass on the mantle. We've seen the Prowler with Donald Glover, being Miles Morales' uncle. It's something we could see him pass it on down the line if they really wanted to.
A question: who was Zendaya in Homecoming? What was her name? Zendaya.
Oh, Zendaya.
Oh, her nickname is MJ, but she is not Mary Jane.
She's not Mary Jane, but I wanted to know her actual name.
I forgot what it was.
I think in the movie, I think her name's Michelle.
Yeah, I think it is.
And she goes by MJ.
Yeah, we got a long timeline from because he still hasn't met Gwen Stacy yet, right? So.
Yeah, well, she's in the movie, I think.
Yeah, I think she was in the movie. But,
yeah, she's one of the high school students.
But Zendaya's MJ is gonna replace Mary Jane. They're gonna do it a different way.
And I like that.
Yeah.
You sure? I don't know. I think she's.
I think it's better.
I think it's interesting.
It's
flip
different.
on its head on what we know, you know, because with them already adding the other girl who was his crush, the junior. Can't remember Vulture's daughter. I can't remember her name. You know, she was never in the comics. You know, and so we already seeing a much different approach to things. So I think with the way that they're handling MJ, it's much different. I mean, we've seen Gwen Stacy with Emma Stone. And then, you know, we've seen MJ with
right.
Yeah. So we've seen his typical love interest. You know, we've seen Mary Jane, we've seen Gwen Stacy. So I think the way that they're handling the MJ situation this one by doing it in a much different light, that it's much more unique in it. It gives it a much different feel.
I need the Gwen Stacy death. That's all.
They did an Amazing Experiment too, if you really wanted it.
But Emma Stone, dude, she was great for Gwen Stacy. She really was.
Yeah, she was. She just was not in the right series.
Yeah. That
but
was...
as you said, they did Homecoming Spider-Man just kind of different than MCU. Like even Flash Thompson, he's like a nerd. Like he isn't like a big dude at all.
He's a nerd bully.
Yeah. He's an annoying nerd.
Yeah, but he's the like try hard. I'm a cool nerd. Like when they were at the house party and he was DJing, and he's like, "Hey, look, it's Parker."
Yeah, but speaking about how like we wanted young actors and holding a mantle for a long time, like with people such as Spider-Man, and that also reminded me of a quote from the Deadpool 2 trailer where it's like, "We need young and strong actors to hold their own movie for 10 years." That was fucking great. I also wanted to talk about, so we probably talked about this in the past, but I'll bring it up again. What do you guys think about Wolverine? Do you think he's going to be recasted? And like, how do you think, who do you think they would pick, or how do you think he would look?
I think they're going to really get somebody to really, they're going to really try to get somebody to really look like Hugh Jackman or like, you know, the typical Wolverine. And a person that's really been in like the cycle of the discussions is what's his name? Clint Eastwood's son. Is it Scott Eastwood?
Yeah, but he's a terrible actor.
Yeah, Scott Eastwood. He's not the best.
But give him a chance. Hugh Jackman was always a great actor, you know.
Well, I mean, he had been doing musicals before that. He had a bit of acting props.
Well, it's not even that, but you need someone who's a phenomenal actor out of the gate because you're replacing a big person with Hugh Jackman. People need to be like happy from the start. Like this dude does not have time to grow or anything on people. He just needs to be good from the start. And like I can't wait because I think with their approach, it should be as comic accurate as possible. Like, make the character like maybe 5'6" or so. And he's gonna be buff. He's gonna say buff a lot. You have to go as comic accurate as possible.
Yeah, it would take a much different feel.
I don't know if they're gonna make him like I think they really don't care about his height. I think they're gonna actually probably just get somebody that's probably around the same height as Hugh. But I don't know. I don't see them touching Wolverine for a long time.
I better see him in that suit immediately, though. Like, you're gonna have to distinguish him.
We're not gonna see a suit either. I doubt it. We might see like something like on like, you know, like how Batman had like a Robin suit in like a closet or something like that. Something like that maybe.
Nah, man, he's gonna have that yellow suit. I guarantee. Maybe it won't be like bright yellow, but he's gonna have that iconic suit.
It'll be a tinged yellow, yeah. And speaking of Wolverine, that's a great little segue into an idea here that we got, because we've been on Infinity War and all this, that there's been talks of cameos for Infinity War. And one of the biggest talks is that Hugh Jackman has been on set for this filming of Infinity War, for both Infinity War and the Avengers 4 movie, which we're shooting at the same time. And he's been seen on set. And there's rumors and talk that he might be coming back for Wolverine for the MCU. What are y'all thinking about all this talk? Because with him spending so much time around it and recently changing his thoughts, saying that he might come back, especially with the talks of the Fox deal, which we're going to get into. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that we might actually see him cameo in it after all?
The only way, like, it wouldn't make sense, because they would have to use like a soul stone to bring this man, and they don't even know who he is. And it just, I don't know. It wouldn't actually. Matter of fact, it could make sense. Cause I forget, Logan was in the future. It was in the future, so.
I think what you got to do is.
I think he's just there. I think he's there.
Yeah, it's something else.
I think what you would have to do is, like, you would have to keep him Old Man Logan, and he'd be like an alternate version of Wolverine, you know, like one from way in the future and all that. And he fights his own problems. With the MCU, Wolverine would be like a much younger version. I guess he would look at Hugh Jackman at that point, like Sophie was saying. Because I don't know if Hugh Jackman wants to play Wolverine for a bunch more movies. I think he would rather have smaller roles.
Yeah.
Something like that. He might do some roles like that.
Whoa. So you cut out for a second.
Oh, I was like, he's probably gonna have roles like X-Men First Class when they try to go recruit him, and he like fuck off. Stuff like that. Could you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, you didn't hear what you said?
Yeah, we heard you a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, this is gonna be kind of off topic, but not really. So I just recently watched a movie called A Quiet Place, which, by the way, is a fantastic movie. Go watch it. It was genuinely scary to me.
It has the Quiet Place is so fucking good, bro.
Bro, go watch A Quiet Place. That movie's fucking great. But anyways, the main actor in that, you would recognize him from The Office, Jim Halpert. His real name is John Krasinski, though. Yeah.
I already know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyways, believe it or not, fun fact, John Krasinski was considered to play Captain America for the MCU, but basically the deal never went through, so he never played Captain America, and it went to who we have now with Chris Evans. But John Krasinski has shown interest in playing Mr. Fantastic for the MCU. What are your thoughts on that?
It's an interesting choice. So you want to say something?
Because basically he can bring his wonderful wife to play his wife in the movie, and it will all work. I think it would be great, because the thing about him is he could play all sides. They can make the movie funny if they want to. They can make the movie super serious if they want to, and they both can just go off whatever.
Those are phenomenal actors. Like, if you guys only know him from The Office, make sure you go watch A Quiet Place so you see him acting in a very different role. But I'm telling you, this guy would pull off a Mr. Fantastic.
He was also in a war movie too.
Yeah,
I forgot what movie.
I don't think it's even out yet.
No, it was out. It's out. That's why he got. That's why it. I forgot what it was called. But yeah, he was super good in that too.
That's interesting. That's good to hear, and that actually leads into something, is that, you know, we want to see, you know, the first family back as they were. You know, the Fantastic Four was known as the first family for Marvel, and that leads into a double aspect, you know, on two things that I want to bring up. One is that they're bringing back the first family in a new comic run after the whole big deal about when they ended the comic back in, what was it, 2012. You know, they ended them in a really bad way. A lot of people thought that the Fantastic Four weren't coming back, that they just weren't really needed anymore. Well, about a month ago, Marvel Comics actually announced that they're doing a new run of the Fantastic Four. And a lot of people were really excited about this because they were bringing back the first family that really helped to push comics with the way that the Fantastic Four were. And what, especially for you, Soul, because you read a lot of comics, and I mean a lot. What are your thoughts on this? All right, good talk. All right, Neth, what are your thoughts on this? Okay, everyone's quiet now. Well, you see, what happened was.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my mic got unplugged. But what are my thoughts about the Fantastic Four coming back?
Yeah, in the comics, how they're bringing back the comic line after having put the Fantastic Four on, kind of retiring them back in 2012.
Yeah. So what I think, and this basically confirms our hopes and dreams, where, guys, with them coming back to the comics, I think it basically confirms they're coming to the MCU. Because I think Disney's starting to understand that their movies advertise their comic books and vice versa. So if you see something happen in the comics, that confirms that it's going to also have stuff that's going to come back to the movie. So they're not going to bring back this comic book unless the Fantastic Four would come to the MCU, because they're going to want the MCU to kind of advertise the Fantastic Four and all that. And then kids will start picking up the comics and shit. And so on. Like, they wouldn't waste their time and resources bringing back the Fantastic Four unless it was something big for them.
Yeah, especially after the big controversial kind of send off for them that they got way back in the day. A few years ago when they ended their storyline and kind of put them on the back burner. But I wouldn't say it's a full confirmation, but I definitely would say that it's more of a feel out for bringing back the first family that had such huge implications for comics and especially that. So them bringing back the first family is great, and especially with how big of an place that they have, especially with a lot of their villains. Look at Doctor Doom and how important he is to the Marvel universe overall. Look at Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer is the herald of Galactus. He played a big part as bringing Galactus as a villain before he became a hero and joined up with the Avengers and everything else. So it's a good thing that they're bringing back the Fantastic Four in their comic run.
Okay, I'm back. So with the discussion, we're talking about Fantastic Four in the comics.
Yeah, we're talking to the comics.
We're talking about how they're bringing back the Fantastic Four after having gotten rid of their comic line back in 2000. What was it, 14, 15?
Yeah. Okay. I hope it's good, but Marvel has been on a downward slope, kind of when it comes to comics. So I just hope that they do something good to honor the Fantastic Four, but I'm gonna still be on the sideline, kind of skeptical. So I don't know.
I figured you would be one of the ones a little bit more excited for it, because I know you buy comics almost every week.
Yeah, but it's hard to really stand by Marvel comics when they just been kind of bad lately.
Yeah, I feel like their focus on the comics has completely died, and they just focus so much on the movies, which I love the movies, and that's your moneymaker, but your comics have been taking a hit, because I gotta be real. For being a Marvel fanboy, because I love those movies so much, your comics are subpar compared to DC's. DC, I thought I would get into Marvel comics, but I started reading the fucking DC comics because they're so much better. I gotta be real. DC knows what's up when they make their comics. The art style is better. It's more graphic, more gritty. The storytelling's overall more concise. But you know what? I love Marvel. I hope they get back on track, and I hope Fantastic Four is a good comeback for them. Soul King said.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah. We can hear you.
Recently, DC's been super disrespectful when it comes to comics, because they know that Marvel has been failing recently when it comes to the comics and having them stick recently. So what they've been doing is their own adaptation of their failing characters and just making them better. So Hulk has been failing for Marvel comics wise. So they decided, you know what, we're gonna make a Hulk adaptation of her own. And they did the same thing with Fantastic Four, and it's doing great. They got like their own Fantastic Four now too. So I don't know. Hopefully, I really hope that they do good, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, you got
I was talking to a
any
friend about this. Oh yeah, I was talking to a friend about this new Fantastic Four coming back. Basically, what he told me was the writer who's doing this was the one who did handle Spider-Man for the past 10 years. He basically said he was pretty shit anyway. So he said, "Don't get my hopes up for this."
Wait. Hold on. When he's talking about who handled Spider-Man, did he do the Superior Spider-Man arc? Because I fucking love Superior Spider-Man. That comic was a shit.
Yeah, he said that's the only good thing he did for Spider-Man. But everything else was all that
Superior Spider-Man was fucking good, by the way.
Superior Spider-Man was one of my favorite storylines besides
ever, right? It's fucking good.
That one was one of my favorites besides, I think it was Back in Black. And I think that was the storyline. I think that was one of my favorites because that's when Kraven actually buried Spider-Man alive and was running around as Spider-Man because Kraven the Hunter wanted to prove he was better than Spider-Man. And then he killed himself.
I have to say, I never actually was able to finish that because, fortunately, I lost the comic. But I'm probably going to rebuy it here soon because that was on my bucket list.
Yeah, definitely. But man, there's a lot of things that could be done, and especially with this, like I said, with Fantastic Four, it's a great thing that they're trying. I understand that the comics and comics in general have just kind of been up and down, like they always have been.
They've always have been, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good that they're bringing them back because they have such a huge mark and impact in comics as well as everything, which kind of leads into the next thing. We were mentioning cameos and talking about the implications of what Fantastic Four villains have had on the universe, and two big ones have had massive implications. Doctor Doom having been, having done so much for the Marvel universe and having so many implications for what he can open. But the big thing was the Silver Surfer, and we were talking about this. Is that there's rumors right now that the Silver Surfer is going to be cameoing in Infinity War, and we've known that they were able to pull recently make a trade with Fox, I think it was before, to get Ego the Living Planet for Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, do you think that there was a deal to bring the Silver Surfer over for Infinity War?
I think it's gonna have a very small cameo, but I think it might actually happen because the actor they were linking it to, he has Silver Surfer everywhere on his profile, and he even deleted some tweets people had to screen cap. So I think when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah, it would be interesting because having him in Infinity War can herald the coming of Galactus, as well as it could play a lot of other things, and we may actually see the real Galactus, not this dumbass space cloud bullshit.
I hope it's true, but like I said, they must have thrown the bag at Fox to get these characters, and if anything, we might not see Silver Surfer till like the very end, because most likely, Thanos is probably gonna win and stuff like that, or etc. And we're probably gonna get like an end credit scene of Silver Surfer going to like Galactus and telling them we have a problem or something.
It's possible because I think that Galactus was one of the 12 Celestials that helped to fight Thanos after he got the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, so hopefully Fox, contributed and let them use these characters, because it will really mean a lot to the comic fans to see this, especially Galactus on the screen. If people see a legit Galactus on the screen, people might scream and cry. Like,
yeah, man, it was legit, and that's one of the things that can be coming from this. So it'll be interesting. I really hope that they do have that cameo in there, because we're gonna see the cameo of possibly him, possibly Hugh Jackman, whatever he's gonna be doing. But the biggest cameo that we know has now been confirmed, that's gonna set up for her movie and what's gonna be coming after Infinity War, has been Captain Marvel. She has confirmed been to appear in this movie, and we already know what that implication implies with it already taking place in the cosmic. We already know that her movie is going to be in the 90s in the past, It's going to show the Kree versus Skrull war. It's going to have Ronan's going to be in it. They're bringing back Nick Fury. Phil Coulson's going to be back in it as well. So we're going to see that time. It's going to definitely lead into a lot. So with these cameos, especially for characters like these, it's going to have major implications for the future.
How do you think they're going to do Marvel?
How do I think they're going to do Marvel? I honestly don't know. I'm actually curious on how they're going to do Marvel.
Yeah, I would like to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting because we've already seen how they've done the Kree in the past from the TV show, from some of the Kree that have showed up before. There was one actor that was playing the Kree that was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., who was a really great actor who had been on another show that I had watched. I believe it was Warehouse 13 from the Sci-Fi. Their like science fiction show was really good.
Yeah, I used to watch that.
Yeah, and he was on that, and it was really, really good. So I think we're going to see some interesting things out of the Captain Marvel movie. I'm glad to know that we're going to be getting a peek at her soon. So it's going to be something interesting to see her now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we get to see her at her best, and now we'll see her origin later on. Because people are kind of a little skeptical about the suit that we've seen. So hopefully we see her nice, great suit.
Yeah, we're gonna see that iconic red, gold, and blue. Yeah. What do you think, Neth?
I mean, how many times does Marvel and Kevin Feige have to prove to us that they're going to get this shit right? Like, just wait for the movie to come out. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure Captain Marvel's going to look. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Future Wolf just said to us, if they do Marvel, they could use the whole Kree Skrull dynamic to help explain to the movie fans. We already know that it is. They already stated in the synopsis that they are going to go into depths about the Kree Skrull War. So we already know that they're going to imply that, and we're also going to see how Carol gets her powers, which is because of the fact that she was bonded with Marvel. So we're gonna see all of that in her movie. But the thing is that we're gonna get a view of her character in Infinity War is the big thing, and more than likely it's gonna be at the end after everything's said and done, after everyone's licking their wounds and having their asses beat, that she's gonna show up and basically bring the cavalry. Has to. That would be the biggest place for her to be. I still think it'll be interesting on how they're going to do it, but right now, like you said, it's going to be a wait and see. They know what they're doing. Let's let it happen out. And speaking of that, with cameos and all that, the last thing I want to talk about here is because we've been talking a lot about Fox and their characters, the Fantastic Four, is that. How we've been talking about how Disney may actually lose the Fox acquisition to like someone else like Comcast or anything? I looked into it a little bit more, and it's actually not to prevent the acquisition of Fox. It's actually the bidding war is actually for what's called known as Sky News. And what Sky News is the big European news network there and across Europe. And what that's going to do is that if Comcast actually beats out Sky, or if Comcast beats out Disney for purchasing Sky News, that's actually going to slow down the acquisition of Fox. Because if Disney is able to acquire Sky, which is a majority owned by Fox, then that eases their transfer of being able to acquire them. But the thing is, Comcast is actually close to beating Disney on the bid for Sky News, which will slow down the acquisition. But it's not going to be Comcast buying Fox. It's just going to be slowing down the acquisition process because of the fact that they're not going to be owning all their subsidies. What do y'all think about that on what this could do? Because that can actually make a lot of changes to possible plans if that is the big implication here. Neth, what do you think?
Can you repeat the question?
Man, if Comcast blocks Disney from acquiring Sky News, that's going to slow down the Fox acquisition.
I think what Comic Book Cast already explained, where like even if that were to happen, the deal starts falling through. Disney is still going to fight for just the character rights, at least for the X-Men and all that, because technically that is a property of Marvel. So I think we'll still get those characters back no matter what. But I don't know. Because Disney will still be kind of scary if they get all of Fox Entertainment as well. Like, that is one huge conglomerate. Huge entertainment conglomerate, isn't it?
Yeah, because you already got to think about everything that Disney already owns as it is. You know, ABC, NBC, MSNBC, you know, ABC Family. There's a lot. It's going to be interesting, but I think right now that the big reason that they're trying to buy this, you know, Sky News is because it's a majority owned by Fox itself for the European side, and that if Comcast were to buy Sky and win out that bid war, one, it's going to give, you know, Comcast a majority of all news networks in Europe, so it could be seen as a bad thing. But if Disney wins it, it helps create competition, but it also helps to speed up the acquisition of Fox overall with the deal that they already have. That's the big thing about it, that's going to create, you know, the two issues that's going on. You know, that so it could have a lot of implications on it, and you know, we still may be seeing Fox being acquired, and I definitely agree. Even if it does fail, they don't get all of Fox Studios. I definitely do see them fighting to get the character rights of properties. What do you think on all this? All right, good talk.
Damn.
Oh man, it's a busy day. Apparently, everyone's mics be having issues and stuff, man. It's
but while we're still here and we're probably about to wrap up, do you want to give your thoughts on the My Hero Academia season premiere?
Oh God, man! oh, now he comes in for that.
I'm working. What am I saying? You know, either way, you know, Comcast is trying to stay alive because Disney, the mouse, is taking over. They don't want everything to be put on Netflix. They're trying to keep, you know, cable alive. So they're just trying to slow it down as much as they can. But either way, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Disney's gonna own Fox. They're not gonna own Fox. They're gonna own the characters, and we're gonna get the movies that we always wanted. They're gonna take a little longer.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be one of those things, but. Since now you jumped in before we get off, because we all want to talk about this here. What are your thoughts on the premiere for My Hero for that new season, man?
Y'all are in for a treat. Of course, like y'all already know, I read up ahead of the manga. Y'all gonna see some wild ass fights. I'm just leave it at that.
It's definitely gonna be setting up something interesting, man. I definitely say that this first episode I'll definitely say was a recap. We can't deny that. It gives you a quick overview of everything that's happening, but it's still showing, you know, the kids preparing to set up for the rest of the story arc. It's them talking, reminiscing, but it's definitely still driving the story towards what's coming up. You know, it's showing them getting ready for leaving on their summer vacation training program, but it's them just having a bit of fun, but still talking about everything that's happened. It's wonderful.
The hype is real.
I'm excited for it. Yeah, the hype is definitely real. We already know that they're teasing a lot of stuff that's coming. We got to see, you know, Shigaraki and Kokogori from the League of Villains talking about the new possibilities coming up, man. It's just it's gonna be a good season, man. It's gonna be great. 25 episodes.
And I can't. When I see you foaming at the.
Oh man, I know. And then not only that, but in the middle of the season, we're gonna be getting the movie. Oh, I'm excited for the movie.
We're about to see Young All Might.
Young All Might, yeah. Neth over there talking about
bath salts.
Oh, I'm sorry that he opened his eye and like rock.
Hey, you saw his eyes open. That was horrifying.
Yeah, that was Brock opening his eyes. No, oh my. Oh man, but it has me good. It has me excited just because of the fact that that first episode, man, it still just hit me. Had me just feeling so overwhelmed because of the fact just watching Deku's growth from the beginning and seeing the reminiscent of the stories. Just man, that show every episode gets me teary eyed. I love it too much, man. I can't not.
Yeah, every time I hear what comes on, I always have a smile on my face.
Yeah, dude,
it's a real good show. I love it, man.
It's something special. It's one of those shows that are truly gems that come out only so often. They're rare like gems out of it that just are able to withstand and just permeate throughout everything, you know?
Yeah, I just can't wait to once it picks up, man. I know Twitter, YouTube, everything's going to go crazy. They're going to go.
Oh, we already know, and G's been talking nonstop about a character that's been confirmed for this season, Lemillion, and he can't wait to see that character. So,
bro, y'all know I love Lemillion. Y'all see it.
Yeah, we already know. We know it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
But I think we've had a lot of fun here, man. I think it's been a good day. Despite Soul, I'm at work, ass, and Op always never getting anything right.
Well, that's not entirely true, bro.
Right. But we always have a fun time when we all together, man. And we want to thank everyone who's watching right now. The people here that are with us, you know, we love doing this. We love geeking out. We love talking with y'all whenever y'all are here with us. So as always, from everyone here at the United States of Smash, you know, we'll catch y'all next time. Stay beautiful. Peace out.
Peace.